Hi guys, Renee Pizzata here, acting my age. Welcome back! And if you're new to the channel, be sure and hit subscribe and come back every Wednesday for a new episode. This week, I had the pleasure of sitting down with the brilliantly talented Toni Christopher. She's an actress who's been lighting up the LA stage over the past year or so with roles like Izzy in Rabbit Hole, which she received an Ovation Featured Actress nomination. She also continues to work in television and film. Here's a couple of clips from some recent work she's done.
Daisy, you want to sing it for them so they can hear it?
Oh, no, not really.
Just the hook even, just so they can get an idea.
We're the nap to us in the lake.
Just sing the song so they can get an idea.
Mom, I don't want to.
Maisie, Len, you're going to sing that song so they can find out what we're looking for. Otherwise, what are we doing here?
Mom.
And I'll never forget the look on her face when I placed her child back into her arms. Never. So yeah, that's what I do. Day in and day out, I save children, just like you guys, from fires. Thank you.
Toni!
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Really, really, thank you.
Look, I'm going to throw one of these. We were just having a conversation about compliments. I'm going to throw one at you right now. I think, yeah, you're going to take it. Shh, sit there, take it. I think you're a brilliant actress. I love to watch you work.
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
I want to share you with my 250 subscribers.
Thank you.
And let them fall in love with you as well.
Thank you. That really means a lot to me.
Good.
Really. Thank you.
So, let's talk about you.
All right.
Where are you from, first of all?
I'm originally from Boston.
Oh.
Yeah.
And did you fall in love with acting while you were in Boston? Is that what you decided?
I did, yeah.
When did that happen?
It happened late. It happened by accident.
Okay, let me hear this story.
In school, you know, in high school and in elementary school, I was always put into, you know, the play or the lip sync or something, just because it was fun to do. And then I think teachers were trying to guide me that way, and I just resisted. Because it was fun for me, and then once there was a responsibility, I didn't want to be part of it. And then fast forward now, I was in college, and they were offering, so I'm an English major at the time, and they were offering an opportunity to help inner city kids with theater. And that was something that interested me, and I had to become a theater major to participate.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. So I was young. They were like, you can change it back, but we just need this for this opportunity. And met all these really great people, and took an acting class the next semester, and things started cooking a little bit. And then unfortunately, I left college with a terrible experience and did not want to be an actor.
Oh, wow.
And then fast forward again, I'm bartending in Boston and still kind of having this juice for acting, and this kid comes into the bar and had mentioned this really awesome teacher I'd heard about and said, let's just go out of his class. And I sat in his class, and he literally, my life shifted in that moment.
Wow.
He was nothing I had experienced in college. His energy and his forthrightness and his excitement and his talent. And I worked with him hardcore for a year and then moved to New York City. Yeah.
So let's talk about that. How important do you think class is to actors?
Huge.
Yeah. Huge.
And the right class. You know, like in college, I was in all the wrong classes. And it wasn't the wrong classes. I met awesome, like, the friends that I made and all the artists that I had become friends with in school were awesome. It was the department, the theater department, that I had an issue with. So when you find the right class, it changes your life, and it changes your art, and it changes your outlook, and it changes your experience. And I'm really insanely grateful for that happening in my life.
Yeah.
And I was lucky even in New York, the people I studied with, and then fast forward in LA.
Where are you studying here in Los Angeles?
I'm at BGB.
What do those initials stand for?
Berman Garcia Braun. It has, and it's changed my life in LA. I'm so grateful for that studio, and I'm so grateful for Steve, and he's been my Yoda and my mentor, and yeah, like really has shifted my whole artistic life. Created something really special there.
They have. I love it. I think it's amazing. It's a great space. It's a great
community. Hello,
community is
where
fabulous.
we found each other.
Yes, totally. I think that's one of the most important things for people who come out to Los Angeles to know. Get into a good class. Finding an artistic home, I think, is so important.
It sure is.
Yeah, and that place is great. I love BGB. Shout out BGB.
No, really, like, huge shout out. And what I really deeply appreciate is the support that they have for actors and the encouragement and taking leadership of your career and taking leadership of your talent and taking leadership of what you bring out into the world. And we're not taught that in a conservatory, you know, so we can rock out our talent in that way, but the extra step of creating opportunity.
At BGB, they also have a great writing class, writing program. Have you participated in that?
I took Alexa's class years ago, and yeah, I mean, it was my first inlet. In high school and college, I was a creative writer, so poetry and creative writing and screenplay writing scared me. And she but she was so great that she gave me a way in to tell a story. So it's still in process, but like just so grateful that there was an opportunity to even play with that. You know, and again, like that's another thing that Steve had offered an opportunity to me, and I don't know if I would have taken it if he was like, Toni, like, maybe, you know, because I was just coming off Rabbit. And, you know, when things, I thrive in a manic schedule and a very busy schedule. So when things are quiet, I panic and I don't know what to do and I get lost and you get into yourself a little bit. So I reached out to him and, he said, what about writing? I was like, you know, and he just, same thing, encouraged. He's like, Toni, he's like, you know, your work, I can't imagine you don't have stories to tell based on your work. And I just said, okay, I'll try it on. And lo and behold, there was a script.
And everybody has a story.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Everybody.
And we all have stories. It's what story do you want to tell?
Totally.
Yeah, because it's so personal.
Yeah, it's your point of view, and you're, you know what I mean? Only you can tell whatever story you're telling.
Absolutely.
Even if it's the same story that's been told 40 times, from your point of view, it's never been told.
Absolutely.
So, tell it. So you mentioned Rabbit. Let's talk about that because they don't know what that is. After Rabbit,
Rabbit Hole. So a really good friend of mine and I are, you know, having lunch and complaining about not being brought into the room enough, and you know, another shout out. Is this going to be the BGB episode?
I know.
And listen, I mean that's how important it is. So if it is that, have at it. Being in the energy of creating an opportunity, you create work, and we were talking, and we met each other doing New York theater. And I said, you know what, like, let's just get back to, like, the love of why we're doing this, which is theater. Like, get back to that. Like, let's do a play, let's read a play, let's put up, not put up, I mean, just, let's do it. And she was like, you know, like, I've always wanted to do Rabbit. And I said, wow, okay, it'd been a minute since I had read it, and gave it a read, and I said, all right, let's get a cast together and let's read it. So the woman who played my mother, I just shot a film with her, so we reached out to her, she reached out to the guy who played her husband, and we had this reading in her living room, and you could feel that magic. And we're like, let's do it. You know, created a really awesome run, and it exceeded any kind of expectation. It was hugely successful. Ovation recognized it, which is great.
That's fabulous.
It's just a true testament of the magic and the hard work and the hearts that went into that show.
You have an amazing voice.
Thank you.
Do you do voiceover?
I don't, and I know I should. And
okay, anybody in the voiceover agency, gig, universe, listen to this voice.
No, thank you. No, I hear it quite a bit, and I don't know why. And I think I have a. You have a rasp. You have a rasp to your voice.
I
do, and I've had it since. It's funny, like a video when I was like young, like maybe
you're like a
7 or 8. Yeah, but kind of. I had a deep voice even then, so I must have been this like 12-year-old girl bopping down the street with a really heavy voice, like, you know. Can you imagine the fright on people? Like, oh my god, it's a 12-year-old girl bopping around with. But I thought I developed it as I got older, you know. And I smoked and. But it's been there. Yeah.
No, it's great. It's
great.
I
appreciate that. Thank you. And I probably should. Should.
Do you feel anything changing as you age in Hollywood?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I came across this quote, and
oh, good. I love quotes.
It just like blew open my mind, and it's that's our work. So it's Laurence Olivier, and it's you know, there's no greater gift to an actor. Like, what is greater than the work given to an actor than the knowledge of learning the heart itself? You know, the work that we do, and you are learning something different about yourself every time. And if you allow yourself to really feel it, and especially the characters that we'd like to avoid or we judge, that's where the That's where the juice is.
That's where the magic happens.
Yeah, but as I'm getting older also is being really truthful. Again, like true to yourself. And being really authentic and like really fuck what other people think.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be too much for some people.
Oh yeah, totally.
And those are not your people.
Exactly.
And I wasted a lot of time trying to convince these other people that I could be their people. So that's one thing with age.
Less fucks to give.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you could go back in time and give your young, raspy-voiced 8-year-old self a little word of advice, what would you say to them?
That's deep, Renee.
It is deep, isn't it?
Yeah, well, because I'm still in process with all of that.
Yeah.
And since I've been in LA, that's probably the number one thing that has happened is me getting out of my own way, you know. So what do I say to 8-year-old Toni? You're enough.
Well, that's it for this video. If you like what you saw, give it thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe and come back every Wednesday for a new video. I'm Renee Pizzata, acting my age.